keep pace with offensive wizards, modern defenses have had to evolve to a new position, the big nickel. This player is required to be fluid enough to match in coverage, yet big and aggressive in the run, fulfilling all roles as a counter to creativity. The next in line is Caleb Downs, a blue-chip recruit and anchor of the Buckeyes defense. A blend of speed, instinct, and physicality, Downs roamed all across the field in the Buckeyes' three-high system, looking to wreck the play. Downs showed excellent coverage skills in his time at Ohio State, both from up high and down and dirty. If you want to play the big nickel in the NFL, you're going to have to play man, and here he's matched up with current LA Ram Terrence Ferguson. Motioning the tight end into trips, the Ducks are running a drive concept with Ferguson running the shallow cross. Downs has to work across the field and avoid the traffic, sinking down to stick to his hip, showing great technique to get the arm around and attack through the hands for the breakup. That is an NFL play. Downs made a living attacking tight ends on these crossing routes. Versus Texas, he does a great job here keying on the outside shoulder of the tight end, slipping under the crossing traffic to avoid getting picked. Locked to the tight end's hip, he's in perfect position for a breakup, yet Arch somehow squeezes this through and the tight end shows magnet hands. However, Downs still has him wrapped up for the stop on 4th down. And one way to get rid of a crosser in coverage is to just take him out. Within 5 yards, the contact is legal, and when the crosser tries to set the pick on mesh, Downs shoulder checks him and removes the pick route. And this is a good play to defend the end zone fade smash. Hips pointed at his man, he squeezes the space while keeping his eyes back to the QB, reading the throwing motion and realizing he's going to the back corner. So he flips his hips and drops to depth, undercutting the throw and showing off the vert to end the game on the INT. The Buckeyes were a predominantly zone team, and this allows him to be a field roamer, using his speed and instincts to make plays. Playing as the whole player in Tampa 2, Downs does a great job to read the QB's eyes and try to jump the concept. There's a tie-up in the wide receivers running the dagger, and Downs has space to jump it, firing fast downhill for the interception and sealing a berth to a national championship game. When playing in zone, his fluidity in space really shines through. Playing the flat in the cover 2 this time, he hangs in position to take on the crosser, Arch on the scramble, and to the back in the flat. That's where it goes, and he's flying downhill to trip him up immediately, bringing up 4th down. Against Penn State, there's a late shift into a box defense to deal with the trips, and more good instincts from Downs. He has to hang back with the 3 who's running a wheel, but with his eyes back reading, he can see the QB in trouble, and the tight end working on a drag route from the far side. He's accelerating fast to make a play on the ball, and luckily for the tight end's benefit, this ball is offline, as Downs would have laid the wood. Here's someone that doesn't get so lucky. Starting from up high this time, Downs is the robber in cover 1, allowing his instincts to carry him to the ball. As soon as he sees the shoulder start the throwing motion, he's attacking Malachi Toney on the slant, putting his helmet on the ball to force his second fumble of the game. Fortunately for the Canes, it takes another lucky bounce. And versus the Nittany Lions, Downs shows us his fearlessness playing up high. They have the perfect play called, with curl seams into cover 3, and the QB shows good anticipation, but floats it too high and leaves his player exposed. Downs spots he can make a play on the ball, and decides to detach the player from any chance too, laying the boomstick. This video is sponsored by PrizePicks. The NBA season is nearing crunch time, and baseball is just around the corner, and PrizePicks is the best place to win cash while watching live sports. The app is incredibly easy to use. To create a lineup, all you have to do is pick more or less on a few player stats, and you're on your way to winning cash prizes. You can play PrizePicks in over 40 states, including California and Texas. Best of all, PrizePicks will give you $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get filthy bucks in lineups just for playing. So download the app and use our promo code THINKING to get $50 in lineups now. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. In his time at Ohio State, Caleb showed fantastic ability versus the screen, with rapid downhill tracking and strong open field tackling. Playing from his usual middle safety spot, Downs is all over this RPO bubble screen concept when he sees the motion. The corner does a great job to send this back inside, and Downs shows great tackling form to dump the receiver for just a single yard. More good reading against Penn State, this time playing the slot. As soon as he sees the windup, he's attacking. And more good tackling form makes this a tackle for loss. In the Cotton Bowl, Miami are running the trendy slot arrow RPO, trying to get their best player the ball in space with 2 lead blockers. Downs works fast down from his safety slot, then shows more good technique, breaking down to make a tackle in space, putting his lid on the ball to force the fumble. And again, Miami get the bounce. And Downs isn't easily fooled, showing the smarts to sniff out a trick play. Penn State have a jet sweep option play called here, and seeing the runner treading and the line in pass pro signals to his secondary it's a pass, making sure to hold the flat and the outside escape angle. The defense have the downfield options covered, and Downs attacks the ball carrier when he's wide of the block, forcing an incompletion. These instincts and athleticism make him an incredible run defender too. We've scouted some pretty incredible safeties on this channel for half a decade, and I don't think there's been a better run defender than Caleb Downs. Flying into the backfield with regularity, Downs is a heat-seeking missile whose only job is to punish the ball carrier. Rotating into the box here to become the weak side backer, he shows great feel for reading and getting to the ball. The Buckeyes blitz the mic to change the front, and Downs does a good job to track the traffic and then accelerate through the ball carrier. You want to see the arms out, but more on that later. He's again occupying that weak side role, but this time the run's coming at him. He shows no hesitation, going straight through the A-gap to meet the back head-on and keep this to a minimal gain. Something he'll be asked to do a lot of in the NFL is help add numbers from the nickel by blitzing late. NFL teams have found ways to get the numbers count back by using this tactic, and Downs is already versed in this process. He times it perfectly with the motion, coming untouched for the tackle for loss. This time, he's blitzing into the motion to take away the numbers at the point of attack, showing more good strength to blow this up. He makes sure to beat the receiver across his face to deny him a chance to block, then shoves his end into the kickout block to blow it up, working inside for the wrap-up. Elite stuff. And here, he'll ruin the trendy insert concept by throwing the blocker into the path of the run. The C-gap motion signals the run, and Downs triggers hard, disregarding the attempted block by Malachi Toney, helping wrap up the back for no gain. His work from up high is also impressive, showing a great ability to be the last line of defense. Here, playing center field, he makes sure to hang high and read the RPO, and when he confirms handoff, starts to shuffle forward before noticing the blocking open up, accelerating to eat up space, then more good job to break down and fly through the runner's legs. Center field here again against Indiana, and more good aggressiveness. He's quick to spot the duo rat play and realize OSU have quickly been washed down and a huge hole is open. He takes 80 head on, pushing him back into the runner, and halting what looked to be a big play into a minimal gain. And here, he's a true last line of defense, saving a touchdown in the Cotton Bowl. The back slices through the excellent blocking, and the corner whiffs the tackle. But here comes Downs to the rescue, showing a textbook open field form, wrapping up the legs, and saving a score. Now Downs still has some gaps in the game that he needs to fix if he wants to be an effective big nickel in the pros. For as good as he is in diagnosing the run or covering guys in space, he could often put himself out of position due to some poor pursuit angles. Here's a great example. Downs is in a great position here to make a play on the jet sweep, but takes too narrow an angle. He's the unblocked man here and should meet the runner in space, and he has the agility to keep up with the sweep, but takes a poor step and finds himself behind the plate and whiffing the attempt. In coverage, this is a poor communication on the pass-off, and Downs gives up a chance for a score, although he's saved by Buckeye pressure. Downs should carry the crosser here and allow the corner to replace him as the middle hanger, but stays to protect this gap too, leaving a man running free. Luckily, the line brings down Mendoza. And here, Downs gets caught out of position off the play action. He takes too big a step here to the fake run, backpedals to try to cut off the window behind him, and then finds himself too deep to recover to the leak wheel from the tight end, allowing a chunk completion and getting thrown at the end. Despite showing good tackling form in many of these clips, his technique can still be a little inconsistent. There's plenty of sound tackles, but too often he'll drop his head and try to lay the boom without his arms. He's in position here fast, working down from up high to meet the back in the hole, but never gets square and whiffs the tackle entirely. He's lunging with his head down, allowing the runner to sidestep him out the tackle and turn the tackle for loss into positive yards. And here against Penn State, Downs reads the rub route and comes down to make a play, but rather than wrapping up, he launches with his head and shoulders down and just bounces straight off him. Not only is this poor technique, but it's actually incredibly dangerous. Always keep your head up. You can't tackle what you can't see. A lot of y'all's coaches told y'all that, but you didn't listen. And while this is more of an observation than an expectation, don't expect Downs to be taking on any NFL lineman in his run fits. He's got the size, craftiness, and aggression to take on tight ends, receivers, and knife gaps on a blitz. But put him on a bigger man, and he's going to get carried out the play. Caleb Downs is the latest inline asset that every defensive coach will be pounding the table to draft. He can play at every level of the defense, provide a physical presence, and carries with him excellent football IQ to diagnose a play. While he doesn't have the eye-grabbing stats from his 3 years in college, the game is much more than a box score. In a league increasingly moving to 3 safety systems and soon to be 3 high systems, Caleb Downs is the perfect addition to a modern defensive unit.